Hi, I'm Matt and welcome to Tech Tested. Are two CPU coolers better than one? Let's find out. If you aren't aware, AMD has been selling box coolers with their processors for quite some time now, and they usually come in two variants. The first one has a copper base with several heat pipes running through a fin array. That one has a pretty good reputation for performance despite the high fan noise that is associated with it. With the launch of Ryzen, AMD released the Wraith cooler, which improved on that noise problem and had a much better performance. The second cooler has a much worse reputation, designed for 95-watt TDP CPUs. It's essentially just a milled block of aluminum with a fin array and a really loud fan. This CPU cooler is barely capable of keeping up with the CPUs it was designed for and runs quite hot. But I had an idea. If you have two of these, can you stack them and get better performance? The idea behind this is you are increasing the surface area by which the heat is able to be dissipated. Now there are a couple problems with this. First, the surface contact between the two coolers is not going to be perfect since they weren't machined together. Second, moving the fan farther away from the base of the CPU cooler might actually cause us to lose performance. Still, in theory, this does have potential to work, so let's give it a try. Now I have a test bench set up with this CPU cooler on an FX 4100, a 95-watt TDP CPU. We have been running Prime 95 for a little over a half an hour now, and as you can see, our CPU temperatures are at 56 degrees Celsius, and the max temperature for this processor is 60 degrees Celsius, which means we're getting really close to thermal throttling and have no headroom for overclocking, and the fan is already quite loud. So what I'm going to do is shut the system down, take off the fan that's already on there, and then slap on this CPU cooler using, you guessed it, zip ties. All right, let's get to work. Alright, we're all back together and we have started Prime 95. This has to run for a little while for it to heat soak, and then we will check our results. Alright, we didn't have to wait that long. We're already hitting 64 degrees Celsius on the CPU, which is definitely higher than what we want. But I'm not giving up. I'm going to try applying thermal paste between the two CPU coolers to see if that gives us our desired effect. Alright, we're back into Windows with the thermal paste between our two CPU coolers. Hopefully this works. I'm kind of skeptical, but you never know till you try. So let's hit Prime 95 and see what happens. Alright, the results are in, and as you can see, it's not really worth it. We are only running at 57 degrees Celsius, but that's a little worse than the stock cooler did on its own. Adding the thermal paste was a big improvement, but it still didn't perform better than the stock cooler. In conclusion, if you are stuck with this cooler, adding a second one really isn't going to help you out all that much. I hope you guys like this kind of content. These are the kinds of experiments I really enjoy doing. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up and let us know down in the comments what other experiments you would like us to run in the future. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, follow us on our social media platforms, and check out our Discord and our website so you can pick yourself up some tech tested merch. And don't stack coolers, I guess. Maybe we'll try something else in the future, but this clearly didn't work the way I intended it to.